Hello and welcome. We are back, continuing our journey on this, the 101 day. After having successfully completed 100 days and completing the 100 days of code challenge, I've decided that we shall be continuing. And as such, we are going to be doing the 301 days of code. Hopefully in succession, without any breaks, just like we did the 100 days of code. So many exciting things to be covering right now, and I honestly can't wait for them. We're going to be doing the APIs and microservices section from Free Code Camp, so that's going to be a lot of fun. Let's jump straight into that and see what we've got. So, we have the introduction to the managing packages with NPM challenges. The Node Package Manager, NPM, is a command line tool used by developers to share and control modules or packages of JavaScript code written for use with Node.js. When starting a new project, NPM generates a package.json file. This file lists the package dependencies for your project. Since NPM packages are regularly updated, the package.json file allows you to set specific version numbers for each dependency. This ensures that updates to a package don't break your project. NPM saves packages in a folder named Node Modules. These packages can be installed in two ways. One, globally in a root Node Modules folder, accessible by all projects, or two, locally within a project's own Node Modules folder, accessible only to that specific project. Most developers prefer to install packages local to each project to create a separation between the dependencies of different projects. Working on these challenges will involve you writing your code on Glitch on our starter project. After completing each challenge, you can copy your public Glitch URL to the homepage of your app into the challenge screen to test it. Optionally, you may choose to write your project on another platform, but it must be publicly visible for our testing. Start this project on Glitch using this link or clone this repository on GitHub. If you use Glitch, remember to save this link to your project somewhere safe. Okay, what are we going to be doing? Glitch or GitHub? Heard about Glitch, I already work on GitHub, so maybe let's try Glitch, shall we? Let's go to the first lesson. How to use package.json, the core of any Node.js project or NPM package. The file package.json is the center of any Node.js project or NPM package. It stores information about your project just like the head section in an HTML document describes the content of a web page. The package.json consists of a single JSON object where information is stored in key value pairs. There are only two required fields in a minimal package JSON, name and version, but it's a good practice to provide additional information about your project that could be useful to future users or maintainers. The author field. If you go to the Glitch project that you set up previously and look at on the left side of your screen, you'll find the file tree where you can see an overview of the various files in your project. Under the file tree's backend section, you'll find package.json, the file that we'll be improving in the next couple of challenges. One of the most common pieces of information in this file is the author field that specifies who's the creator of a project. It can either be a string or an object with contact details. The object is recommended for bigger projects, but in our case a simple string like the following example will do. Author Jane Doe. Instructions. Add your name to the author field in the package.json of your Glitch project. Remember that you're writing JSON. All field names must use double quotes, e.g. author. All fields must be separated with a comma. Should I log in? Should I create a glitch? I think we should, shouldn't we? Sign in with GitHub. Maybe that's easier. We don't have to worry about anything. Let's do that, and I should already be logged in with GitHub. Apparently I am not logged in with GitHub. Great stuff. do that real quick. Right, where are we now? There we are. Okay, so we want to go to the package.json. Add your name to the author field. Is it me or is there no author field here? Interesting. So how do we actually... Oh. Link to glitch. And what do they want? They don't specify. Do we want a project, a live app, the code? Or do we share the project page? I wonder. Not starting from day 0? Should I be starting from day 0? I mean, we're continuing on, no? We did 100 days. And we're still going. We didn't take a break, so today is technically day 101. Reset it. So I wonder if this Ivory Viper is just my... I think it is. It just gave me a random name. What if I want it to be called something else? Oh, you can change it? Oh, you can change it! That's pretty cool. Huh. So this is my project, Ivory Viper. The grass project that does Saturn things. Imagine it's like Satan things. The grass. How are you doing, Wookie? So if I just put this in, I'm curious, like, will it let us pass? Unexpected character at line 1, column 1 of the JSON data. What? Which one do you want me to copy the code? Is that what you want, the code? Will this make you happy? Unexpected character at line 1. What, like this? It doesn't even tell you, like, hey, you should probably, like, change these things, you know what I mean? But I'm gonna assume we can go ahead and delete this. So I'm gonna go and delete this. There we go. And then we can share the, I don't know what we're sharing, project page maybe? Doing fine, what about you? Exhausted, to be honest. Like, for the past few days I've been going to bed really late. And I've like tried to get my sleeping pattern back like a little bit normal. But like, whew, my eyes are just like, they're closing. I'm not gonna lie, so I'm trying to hold in there and see how far we get. Badass Englishman. Hi man, you're so consistent. I wish you good luck with 300 days of code. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. It really means a lot to me. Thank you. We'll see how far we get. It's pretty much double what we did, and then some, isn't it? We got 200 days to go. Same here, I could sleep for 15 hours, but I just won't need to work hard, right? Like, I didn't mind. I think it was like trying to get everything done in a day. Doesn't really work. But for coding, it doesn't matter. Whenever you code, right? Okay, so what's the issue here? Add your name to the author field. But there is no author field. I mean, I can create one. But my issue is the fact that it's like unexpected character at line 1. This is line 1. Unless it's like reading from something else, like this document has been deleted outside of the editor. Please run refresh in the console. What refresh? What console? I'm just gonna reload the page. Please run refresh. Refresh console? What? Parsing error. Yeah, that is strange. Where's the console? Logs? Isn't this a console? There's a console. There we go. Getting somewhere. Wow, this is weird. Look at this. Run, refresh. Okay, refresh. There you go. Restarting. Hey, look at us. There we go. I think we're good now, right? It removed everything else. I don't know what the hell, but... Okay, so now we're gonna copy... Let's copy this. This is weird, but pretty cool at the same time, isn't it? Glitch. Okay, so project options. Let us go and change this to night first. Oh, my eyes. That's so much better. And then we need to grab the I assume we can just take this URL and share this in here and see what it says. Unexpected character on line 1. If only it told us, right? Anyway, I'm going to add the author tab because I know what it wants to do. I just wanted to check if it actually will check, and apparently it will. So we're going to add author. Dead mano. Where do you usually have author, I wonder? Name, author, version? Or maybe we should do name, version, and then author? Or maybe name, version, description, and then author. After all of that. I don't know, somewhere around there. Errors? Are there any errors? I don't think there are any errors. I think we're good. Is it saved? Glitch also saves. Great stuff. How about now? Do you see it now? Oh god, we're gonna be here a while. Add your name to the author field in the package.json. This is the package.json. There is author and my name. I'm going to copy this. Come on. Nope. Okay, how about the code page? How about now? No, unexpected character at line 1, column 1. What are you even checking? Does this still work? I have a feeling something is like a bit weird here, don't you think? Let's do a refresh again. See what happens. So there's our author name. We have no assets. Oh, cute. Why is it red though? Is it just... Okay, can we try again? Unexpected character at line 1, column 1 of JSON data. What JSON data? This is how you write a JSON package file, because I've done this before. I swear they're trolling us. Wait, have other people worked on this project before? No way, check this out. Are we like changing someone else's files? Oh god. Oh god. This is what happens. Then you have me and I just wiped everything. All the assets are gone. Should we rewind the project? Cause something like went weird here. I'm gonna rewind. That's pretty cool that you have a rewind option, you know? Client.js. And here I thought it was our little project. It seems we're using other people's stuff as well. Okay, so let's see what's happening now. Line 1, column 1 of the JSON data. Do you want me to add it like the first thing? Is that what it's looking for? There you go. How about now? Okay, there's something clearly wrong with this test. So let's Google it and see if other people had the same issue. Looks like they are. I have to paste the public. Okay, are we having the same issue? Weren't we pasting the public URL though? How do we get the public URL? Why do we have 2 projects assigned to us? Like, I don't remember this. Swear I've never done this. The heady project that does fluttering stuff. What? Am I tripping? Like, I know I'm tired, but like, what? I don't remember doing any of these. What is going on? What is going on? I don't understand what's going on. Okay, let's go back to our project. It said, it gave us a link, and the link was this Ivory Viper one, right? Is this the link that you want? Test completed. Huh, okay, so it didn't find any errors. They really didn't explain this at all, did they? All they said was start this project on Glitch using this link. And then get to the first project. And then this link is... Oh, I see we've got another Oh, this one looks different though than the other one. Why? Look, this one's got FCC in it. Why is this one different? That is so strange. Now it's completely different to what we had. Back-end challenges. What is going on? Huh, okay, well I guess we got the right one. That's the good news, right? Now how do we get the front-facing? Share project page, copy. That gives us what we currently have. Yeah, finally. Okay, so something must have gone wrong with these two. No idea why. Is there a reason why it's called glitch? Okay, so if I paste this in now, it should say can't find anything. Oh, it's back to this shit again. Okay. But I do believe it wants us to add it to the package.json. So if you go to the glitch project that you set up previously and look at on the left side of your screen, so here, you'll find the file tree where you can see an overview of various files in your under the file tree's back-end section. What? Where's their back-end section? Do you guys see a back-end section here? Like I do not. I see assets. I do not see a back-end section. You will find package.json. The only package.json is here, but it's not under a back-end or anything. The file that we'll be improving in the next couple of challenges. One of the most common pieces of information in this file is the author field. Add your name to the author field in the package.json of your glitch project. Okay. There is no author, but I'll add it. Author dead mono. There we go. You want to check my project now? Unexpected character. They really didn't think this one through, did they? Literally, well, like there have been some bad sections in Free Code Camp, but this is bad. Because for one, there's no backend, as they're specifying. Under the file tree's backend section, like, I don't see a backend section. Let me see if it needs the code. Do I need to paste in the code? Nope. Do you want the live one? Ah, there you go. You want the live one. Okay. Maybe they should have specified, hey, use the live version. Okay, we got it working at least. Now we know. If any of you are ever struggling, copy the live app link. I know they don't tell you, but you know, the fun part is figuring it out. And it doesn't have a backend section, but that's okay. Figure it out. The next part of a good package JSON, the next part of a good freaking tutorial would be to describe things as you see them. is the description field, where a short but informative description about your project belongs. If you someday plan to publishing... Who wrote this? If you someday plan to publish a package to NPM, remember that this is a string that should sell your idea to the user when they decide whether to install your package or not. However, that's not the only use case for the description. Since it's a great way to summarize what a project does, it's just as important for your normal Node.js projects to help other developers, future maintainers, or even future self understand the project quickly. Regardless of what you plan for your project, a description is definitely recommended. Let's add something similar to this. Description, a project that does something awesome. Instructions, add a description to the package.json in your glitch project. Remember to use double quotes. Thank God we already know how to do this, right? Description. I'm trying to think now. Instructions unclear. Package stuck in fan. Solution. Why can't it just save it if it's going to be the same link? They should allow you to just input your project link and it just keeps testing it there. Managing packages with NPM. Add keywords to your package.json. The keywords field is where you can describe your project using related keywords. Example, descriptive related words. Wow. As you can see, this field is structured as an array of double quoted strings. Instructions. Add an array of suitable strings to the keywords field in the package.json. One of the keywords should be free code camp. Okay. What was it? Keywords? Array, you say? Oh, okay. It is an array. Double quoted strings, gotcha. Instructions. Instructions, unclear, free code camp. Is that what you wanted? You wanted free code camp in there? Good, here we go. How about now? Come on. Running tests. Timeout has occurred. What? Oh, hold on. I forgot to add a comma here. There we go. Try again. Come on, you can do it. Keyword does not include free code camp. It does! It does include free code camp. And like literally the stylized free code camp. I feel like making a meme out of this. I really do. It's like that's a stylization of free code camp. And I know they said it should be free code camp or lowercase, but I mean it's very inconsistent. And then I want to write free code camp, you know, the way it is stylized, but I get punished for doing that. Hold on, gotta save this. want to save this actually. Go back one. Alright, so we managed to get this, so we can So I guess we're going back and including free code camp, all lowercase now, because you know this draconian system over here is punishing us. So there we go. Add a license to your package.json. The license field is where you inform users of your project what they are allowed to do with it. Some common licenses for open source projects include MIT and BSD. Choose a license is a great resource if you want to learn more about what license could fit your project. License information is not required. Copyright laws in most countries will give you ownership of what you create by default. However, it's always a good practice to explicitly state what users can and can't do. Example, license MIT. Instructions. Fill the license field in the package.json of your glitch project as you find suitable. Simple enough, right? License. What license are we going to go with? What licenses did I use before? Oh, the GNU. The General Public License. Which is GPL v3. So I think we can just put that in there, can't we? And watch us get like failed for that. Can we put anything in there? My license. Just want to see what it does. I'm curious. You can put anything in there. Okay, but we're actually going to put something real in there. GPL version 3. There we go. How about now? Really? Really? So I put anything in there and it's fine. I put an actual light. What? What happened? Okay, anyway. Glitchy. Add a version to your package.json. The version is, together with name, one of the required fields in a package.json. This field describes the current version of your project. Example version 1.2. Instructions. Add a version to the package.json in your glitch project. Okay. Version. This doesn't have to be a string, or does it have to be a string? Oh, all of it required as strings? Okay. Can do version 1. Our very first version. There we go. Come on, you can do it. Timeout has occurred. How about now? Oops. Help if I put a comma there. Try again. There we go. Expand your project with external packages from NPM. One of the biggest reasons to use a package manager is their powerful dependency management. Instead of manually having to make sure that you get all dependencies whenever you set up a project on a new computer, NPM automatically installs everything for you. But how can NPM know exactly what your project needs? Meet the dependencies section of your package.json. In the dependencies section, packages your project require are stored using the following format. Dependencies, package name, version. Express 4.14.0. Instructions. Add version 2.14 of the package moment. As in the package's moment, to the dependencies field of your package.json. Moment is a handy library for working with time and dates. I wonder how many people like failed that because it's not like specified. It's yeah. Okay, so dependencies. So it's just package name and version. Where do I put it under? Dependencies? So like here. Moment. And what version of moment? 2.14. 2.14.0. There you are. We now have moment. Timeout has occurred. Why? Should be fine, right? I added a comma there. I don't see any issues this time. Dependencies should include moment. Moment should be version 2.14.0. Why is that an issue? Timeout has occurred. We added it to our dependencies field though. Like there's literally nothing else for me to try. It's a JSON object. Dependencies. Package name, version, comma. Package name, version. What do you want me to do? Like, I'm just gonna sit here and stare at it. Oh, what? To keep glitch fast for everyone. Inactive projects go to sleep. No wonder. Can you wake up now? So one thing I have to deal with the lack of instructions on the free code cam section. And then the other part is this thing. God, I should have just done this on GitHub, I think. I really think I should have. Glitch, please! It is active! I promise I'm working on it right now. How long does it take for you to start? Jesus. Wow. To keep glitch fast, projects sleep after 5 minutes if they are not used. Okay, but we are using it. Glitch. It's not okay. Can we reload the page, please? Waking up and then starting. Doesn't look like it's starting to me. At least they give you something to draw, don't they? Using canvas or whatever. I did not know that my coding would come to this. We're just gonna sit here, gonna listen to some calming music, and we're gonna paint little happy clouds, and we're gonna paint little happy trees, because we don't make accidents here. there's going to be a happy little rock over here with a beautiful little lake, and there are going to be some trees that just dot the horizon. Look at that. Beautiful little trees. Let's add some more clouds over here. Oh god. Load! Waking up, starting! God, how long does it take? Server.js, okay, to what? 3000? Where's the port that it starts on? Reconnecting. Connected, okay. That's good. So server.json, app.listen, process.env.port. But we can't really, would I have to just change the port over here? Okay, we're gonna try this. We're gonna have this as the old one, and I assume this is where the port goes, so we're gonna change that. They said try 3000, so let's try that and see if it maybe starts then. That didn't seem to change anything. Oh, here we go, we got some errors. Class error, expected another key value pair at line 11. Column 2. Part of which document though? Unexpected token JSON position on passing near moment. Oh. Package.json, it has syntax errors. Install won't proceed. Okay, finally we're getting somewhere. On line 11. Column 2, expected another key value pair. But why? You got the object, the key, and you got the value. You got the key and you got the value. Is it because I added a comma there? Is that why? Would you believe it? Adding the extra comma breaks it? That is crazy. Huh. Now we know. Okay, learned something new there. This is fun though. Let's go and undo what we've done here. because that won't be needed anymore. I'm going to keep the logs on from now on. Versions of the npm packages in the dependency section of your package.json follow what's called semantic versioning, semver, an industry standard for software versioning aiming to make it easier to manage dependencies. Libraries, frameworks, or other tools published on npm use semver in order to clearly communicate what kind of changes that projects who depend on the package can expect if they update. Semver doesn't make sense in projects without public APIs, so unless your project is similar to the examples above, use another versioning format. So why do you need to understand Semver? Knowing Semver can be useful when you develop software that use external dependencies, which you almost always do. One day, your understanding of these numbers will save you from accidentally introducing breaking changes to your project without understanding why things that worked yesterday suddenly don't. This is how semantic versioning works according to the official website. Given a version number, major, minor, patch, increment the major version when you make incompatible API changes, minor version when you add functionality in a backwards compatible manner, and patch version which you make backwards compatible bug fixes. This means that patches are bug fixes and minors add new features, but neither of them break what worked before. Finally, majors add changes that won't work with earlier versions. Example, semantic version number 1.3.8. Instructions. In the dependency section of your package.json, change the version of moment to match major version 2, minor version 10, and patch version 2. So 2.10.2. Okay. 2.10.2. That's pretty cool. Okay, we are good to go again. Share project page. Go. That wasn't what I wanted to share. Live app. There we go. Use the title character to always use the latest patch version of a dependency. In the last challenge, we told npm to only include a specific version of a package. That's a useful way to freeze your dependencies if you need to make sure that different parts of your project stay compatible with each other. But in most use cases, you don't want to miss bug fixes, since they often include important security patches and hopefully don't break things in doing so. To allow an npm dependency to get updated to the latest patch version, you can prefix the dependency's version with the title character. In package.json, our current rule for how npm may upgrade moment is to use a specific version only, 2.10.2, but we want to allow the latest 2.10.x version. Use the title character to prefix a version of moment in your dependencies. Wait, oh. So that will only do patches. I thought you would put the title character like where the patch number would be. Who wrote this? Note that the version numbers themselves should be changed. Like, I mean, I'm trying to follow, but there's just so many things that just don't flow in this one. It's like different people wrote the different sections. It's so jarring right now. And not just because of that. It's got nothing to do with, you know, the language barrier. It's the fact that they say that something is there, but then it's not there. And they don't even specify how you need to get to the certain things. Like right now we've just been Googling things, thankfully. And figuring it out trial and error, which should not be the way it should be. Like, I wonder what other people did in this section. I feel bad. But anyway, let's go and add the title character. And there should definitely be an option here to give your project page so that it stops asking you each time. Similar to how the title character we learned about in the last challenge allows npm to install the latest patch for a dependency, the caret character allows npm to install future updates as well. The difference is that the character will allow both minor updates and patches. At the moment, your current version of Moment should be 2.10.2 with the title character, which allows NPM to install to the latest 2.10.x version. If we instead were to use the caret as our version prefix, NPM would instead be allowed to update to any 2.x.x version. Okay, so we're using the caret. There we go. Oops, Wait, what happened to the 2? It updated to 2.10.6. That's pretty cool. Alright. Remove a package from your dependencies. Now you've tested a few ways you can manage dependencies of your project by using the package.json's dependencies section. You've included external packages by adding them to the file, and even told NPM what types of versions you want by using special characters as the title or the caret characters. But what if you want to remove an external dependencies package that you no longer need? You might already have guessed it. Just remove the corresponding key value pair for that from your dependencies. The same method applies to removing other fields in your package.json as well. Instructions: remove the package moment from your dependencies. Make sure you have the right amount of commas after removing it. Alright. There you go. It should be good. Good stuff. So that's done. Oh dear. There's going to be quite a few things we'll do in this one. Introduction to the basic Node and Express challenges. Node.js is a JavaScript tool that allows developers to write back-end server-side programs in JavaScript. Node.js comes with a handful of built-in modules, small, independent programs that help facilitate this purpose. Some of the core modules include HTTP, a module that acts as a server, file system, a module that reads and modifies files, path, a module for working with a directory and file paths, assertion testing, a module that checks code against prescribed constraints. Express, while not included with Node.js, is another module often used with it. Express runs between the server created by Node.js and the front-end pages of a web application. Express also handles an application's routing. Routing directs users to the correct page based on their interaction with the application. While there are alternatives to using Express, its simplicity makes it a good place to begin when learning the interaction between a backend powered by Node.js and the frontend. Working on these challenges will involve you writing your own code on Glitch on our starter project. After completing each challenge, you can copy your public Glitch URL to the homepage of your app into the challenge screen. Optionally, you may choose to write your project on another platform, but it must be publicly visible for our testing. Okay, so clone this link. Boilerplate Express. What do we have right now? Okay, so we're going to clone this one. So we're no longer using that one. We're now using another one. What is this one all about? Oh dear, what just happened? Yeah, this is a different one completely. So what does this one look like? Cater walling measure. I want to delete these other ones. Few fine, whatever this is. Can we delete this? I literally have no idea what this is. I want to delete it. delete project. And the other one too. Ivory Viper. Delete it. Delete the project. Cool, what do we need to do? Go to the first lesson. Meet the Node console. During the development process, it is important to be able to check what's going on in your code. Node is just a JavaScript environment. Like client-side JavaScript, you can use a console to display useful debug information. On your local machine, you would see the console output in a terminal. On Glitch, you can open the logs in the lower part of the screen. You can toggle the log panel with the button Logs, top left under the app name. Okay, whoever wrote this one, this is like so much more concise and easy to follow, and actually is precise. You can toggle the log panel with the button Logs. Huh. Yeah, so you can tell Glitch changed something, because now it's here under Tools. I think it's outdated. On Glitch you can open the logs in the lower part of the screen. So yes, it is at the lower part, but then why it's saying you can toggle the log panel with the button Logs. It's weird why they say that. They had it right the first time, but then they're like top left, what? Or maybe they mean top left of this when you open it. I think that's what they meant. Yeah, that's probably what they meant. Anyway, to get started, just print the classic hello world in the console. How will you know if I've done it? Like, how will you know if I've done it? Like, I'm curious now. You won't know if I've done it. Hello world is not in the server console. What? I can read my server console? How can it read it? Do you just type hello world like this? No? Do you do console.log? Just like normal JavaScript? Is that what I need to do? How do you want me to... Help? Help? Because apparently we're not allowed to... So you can't do console log. Do I have to print F? Doesn't that print to a file though? Can I do print? Because they didn't teach us this. What does printf do? Huh. Just print the classic. Okay, yeah, I'll do it. I will just do that because, you know, it's working. Oh my god. To get started, just print the classic hello world in the console. What, do I just type in hello world without the quotes? Command not found, yeah. And hello world like this doesn't work either. Command not found, surprise. So we have never done this before. And I can't use console.log. Can I do log? Is log valid? Log is not a command, and I can't type in console. We are in the console, so how do you want me to log this? Just print the classic. Print. Do you want me print? Is that the keyword here? Print? No such file console log. Oh, I was supposed to do hello world. No such file hello world. Okay. Get a hint? Oh, you act. Oh my god. In the console. That is so misleading. Wow. So this is one. So you wanted me to console.log hello world. That's what you wanted me to do. If this works, I'm just wow. Ha! Okay, am I just dumb? I just want to know. To get started, just print the classic hello world in the console. So they tell you about how to open the console, and then they say print it in the console. Then you click on get a hint. Thank God there's get a hint. Okay, let's continue. Start a working Express server. In the first two lines of the file myapp.js, you can see how it's easy to create an Express app object. This object has several methods, and we will learn many of them in these challenges. One fundamental method is app.listenPort. It tells your server to listen on a given port, putting it in running state. You can see it at the bottom of the file. It is inside comments because for testing reasons we need the app to be running in background. All the code that you may want to add goes between these two fundamental parts. Glitch stores a port number in the environment variable process.env.port. Its value is 3000. Let's serve our first string. In Express, roots take the following structure: app.method path handler. Method is an HTTP method in lowercase. Path is a relative path on the server. It can be a string or even a regular expression. Handler is a function that Express calls when the root is matched. Handlers take the form function request response, where request is the request object and response is the response object. For example, the handler request response res.send response string, or serve the string response string. Use the app.get method to serve the string hello express to get requests matching the root path. Be sure that your code works by looking at the logs, then see the result in your browser, clicking the button Show Live in the Glitch UI. Okay, they got a bit better in explaining this one. Okay, so app.get. Was it app.get? It was, but we have an error now. Why? Why do we have an error? Okay. So are we failing again because of something that I did know? Could not find node 4.4.5 using 10. Okay. Use the app.get method. App.get to serve the string hello express. As in, I should put app.get hello string. Is that what you want me to do? Okay, node is listening. We didn't get any errors. Flesh38, hey! How's it going? What are we doing today? We are trying to do npm and basic node stuff, but the instructions are just awful. They start with not even telling you in which file you need to work in, to telling you which file to work in, but not explaining what you should be passing in. It's just... it's like... yeah, I can't even describe it. I don't know if it's just someone that has, you know, a really great understanding and just poorly wrote it because they just assumed that people know the basics, or if it's someone that just doesn't know how to write things, period. Because I mean, I don't know, you seem to know these things, you know Node and all that, and if you can see this, what do you make of it? Because for me, having never worked in this is supposed to teach me the basics, and not even I can understand it. Coming from, you know, React and managing just fine in the React section. Okay, so we needed to do app.get /, yeah, because they did explain the method here, but they didn't explain this is what you do in a get and why. Get will get something. So you got app.method, where method would be get in this case. So the path, and then the handler being a function. I hate when someone explains something as if you already understood it. Yeah, exactly. And I know like FreeCodeCamp's response is going to be, well, you know, it's open source, you can just change it. But the whole issue is if I don't understand it, how must I change it? All I can say is it doesn't work. Like, it's not clear. Like, you should see the very first thing. It's like, they tell you to change something, but they don't tell you where. Or the previous part, like, maybe I'm being dumb, but just see this, okay? The instruction here, the very first step that they teaching you is the console in Glitch. How to open this console, right? Go here, click on this, and hey look, this is the console of Glitch, right? Now the requirement is to get started, just print the classic hello world in the console. We recommend to keep the log open while working. Okay, so like based on these instructions, what should I do? To get started, just print the classic hello world in the console. Okay, fair enough. Right, so I go to console, okay, over here. So what? Do I type hello world? Okay, hello world command not found. Okay, they said print, right? How about we try print hello world? No such file, hello world. Okay, fuck. So now you sit there, you're like, huh, print. Okay, so eventually you click on get a hint because you know this shit's not working. Guess what? You go to get a hint, and it's like, you know, make sure you're writing your code in myapp.js. Secondly, console.log, which I did try earlier, by the way. I tried, you know, console.log hello world, you know, like you normally would in JavaScript, but, you know, there's an error, syntax error. Then it's like, oh, you should write this in myapp.js. Then I'm like, oh, now I go to myapp.js. I'm like, oh, what if I did it like in JavaScript, which is not a console? Like, is this a console or is this a file? Like, I just want to know, like, is this myapp.js, which is a file, or is this a console? So then I write a console log in here. Oh, surprise, it actually works then. Then you can see it there, hello world, just like you would in JavaScript. But the requirements are print the classic hello world in the console. Nowhere does it say work in this file. Yeah, and it's just like, what? So I shared that on Twitter now and see what people's responses are, but hello world should be in the console, which I agree. How do you get hello world? You do console.log, but nowhere does it say log it in this file. And this is supposed to be beginner stuff. Like, we don't even know you work in myapp. What is myapp.js? What is package.json? They just explained that. Cool. You know, like, what is server.js? What are all these files? Why is there an assets folder? You know what I mean? Like, none of this was explained. And a lot of people are going to be like, cool, Google, but you know, what's the point of having this resource if you have to Google everything on top of trying to learn? And it's sad because FreeCodeCamp has, like, all the sections are amazing. There's one or two things that are confusing, like the part where they try to introduce ES6 before the basics of JavaScript. So you know, getting taught about the arrays, and the higher order functions, but like you don't even know what's going on because you're still learning the basics. So there were a few things like that, but I mean, this is just but anyway, we got it, and now we're stuck on another one, app.get. Use the app.get. So first I'm like, okay, just do app.get. Okay, that doesn't work. To serve the string, then I'm like, oh, do I have to pass in hello string? And like, nope. So they explain here, takes the following structure, app.method, and method is an HTTP method. So like, okay, but they don't explain all the methods. If they showed that get was one of them, then maybe it would be better. Like get, I assume post is one of them. then path, which is relative path on the server. Okay, but how does that help? This is a glitch server, you know, I don't even know what's going on. What would the path be? And then handler is a function. So even if I did put in backspace there, or backslash, how is string a function? You know what I mean? Because here's a function. Request, response, res.send, response string, which has nothing to do with what we need to do, does it? And that's not something you could Google. You need to be able to read the author's minds to understand what they want. Yeah, exactly. Do they make you create a basic node server before showing you Express? No. The only thing was, here you go. Everything is set up already. And the first thing is log hello world to the console. Second thing is use app.get. Oh, you actually have to create a function inside of that? Wow. Can I have a function outside of that, like normal JavaScript? So I do function. Can I just call it anything? Like my string, like this, and then and it takes in request response. Can I do that? And then what? You return res.send hello express. Can you do that? Call it handler. So what do you pass in as a request? Oh, so this is what it will be, right? The request is the path, right? So now I just call handler. And I pass in that and oh, I should actually be putting in hello express here, shouldn't I? And then just be returning res.send. Actually, no. What? What is res? Isn't res the message? Oh, I see. Alright, cool, yeah. Do I need to pass it with brackets like that? No, just a function. Or execute it, right? So, handler... what I'm confused... Wait, what? Never mind. What I'm confused with is I'm passing a handler, but it requires two parameters. But where am I passing in the... you know, arguments to handler? Does it just automatically get that? Because you see, these are things they don't explain. You're not calling the handler? Express for, okay. So it will automatically pass in the request and the response. The response being it will send hello express. Node is listening on port 3000. Okay, so you pass a function to express, and express will call it with two objects. The objects being the request and the response, right? Thank you, I really appreciate that, Flesh. I feel like you should be writing these things. It is open source, so you can literally go and just make a commit on their GitHub. Because, wow, the beginning stuff, it's amazing. You should see the very first thing that they have you do. It's so good. They don't even tell you where to get the link to your page on here at all. So you sit there struggling, and eventually it's like share. Now you've got three options: project page, live app, or code. Eventually you figure out it's a live app. Again, not documented at all in here. It's like they know how to work with glitch and all these things, but they forget about the people who are trying to learn. I don't even know if we did it right now, because I'm not getting anything in the log, because according to them, be sure that your code works by looking at the log, then see the results in your browser. Okay, so maybe I have to go to the live app in my browser. Hello Express. Oh wow. Interesting. So is that how you would write to a page? But you should take a look at the native way to create a server with Node when you have time. Yeah, for sure. I'd love to. I wish they would teach you those things. It's almost like they're forcing frameworks on you, like React, for example. Nothing wrong with it. Like React is great, but I mean, out of all of them, it's like they picked the most popular one. So this is how we wrote Hello Express. Interesting. How does this work though? Like, where's it told, hey, write this in the body, write this in a document? Like, why is there Hello Express there? They don't explain that, it's there. Yeah, I agree. That's why I'm so glad a lot of my projects are vanilla JavaScript. Now that I understand them, I could create my own functions and stuff. I actually created one the other day. I was really proud of it. Where is it? I really need to close these things. Here it is. So I created a helper function, because you know how without using something like jQuery or React, to access every HTML element, you have to do document.getElementById in vanilla JavaScript, right? And I created a helper function that you can pass in a string of HTML elements. So like just the IDs, for example. So let me give you an example. We have 3 IDs here, right? Let me take these 3. Clean it up a bit. So we have... Come on. Whoopsie. We have hex values unique, hex values total, as well as hex values shown, right? Unique, total, shown. So you can literally call build HTML elements and pass these 3 things in and store it in a variable. So let's do const HTML object, oops, if I could spell today, equal to build HTML elements, hex value count shown, hex value totals, and hex values unique, right? What are you complaining about? Unterminated string constant? What? Oh, okay, I see what's going on. There you go. So let's have this somewhere over here. So now I've stored HTML object with 3 IDs, right? So hex value count shown, hex values total, and hex values unique. Okay. Now if we go into my browser and we load this up, where are we? I really need to clean these things up, sorry. There, okay, so the hex color extractor. So now if you check the console, I can now log HTML object. But is this my latest one? It is. But why? That's weird. Why did I break this now? Dollar Dreams, hey. I'm gonna check back on the node thing now. Flash. But why is this not showing now? That's strange. And I'm loading. Yeah, I'm loading that. And I am logging it as well. So why wouldn't it be logging? Why wouldn't it be showing? Oh, these? No, these are warnings for the console statements. There's no errors here. The one just has a complexity that I need to change at some point. So there's no errors here. It's almost like this is the wrong file, but it's not. So if it is working as it should, then why? You know what I just realized? I'm being dumb. That was inside of the function. That was inside of the function. Sorry, it's been a long day. Check this now. So I'm really proud of this. You pass it 3 HTML IDs, right? And what it basically gives you in the end is an object with those 3 HTML IDs changed, because you know HTML IDs are in hyphen format. It will strip the hyphens and convert it into camel case. So what was hex hyphen value hyphen counts hyphen shown is now hex values value count shown in camel case, with the value pair of that key being that HTML element. So you see, if I mouse over, I got the 3 elements. So what's cool about that is where it says hex value count shown, do you see how it says 0 there? I can now, due to that being in an object, go HTML object dot the variable name, so hex value count shown dot value equal to like 999 or whatever. And if we reload here, should be dot value. Oh, because it's not an input, so you have to do dot inner HTML. And there you go. Or change to 999, for example. So instead of having to do document.getElement by ID over and over, you just literally call my function. You pass in the strings in a comma separated value, and then you save that because it returns an object. So what it does is it does a few things. Firstly, it checks, you know, if what you're passing in is valid. If the length is, you know, empty, we just leave the function. Otherwise, we convert the entire arguments array into an actual array, and then we convert it into a string, and we split it by each split option that we choose. In this case, it's either a comma or a space. So it could either be a comma, like we're doing, or you could pass it in as a space. So instead of doing it like this, We could have literally just done this as well, which also works. I decided to support both. So it can either be a comma separated list, or it can be your IDs separated by a space. If I now reload the page, you'll see it works exactly the same. So once it's done splitting them, then we remove any spaces around it, because it just like cleans it up. And then we filter it to make sure that it doesn't start with a number, because obviously JavaScript variables, because we're going to be storing it as the key, and the key can't start with a number, so we're respecting JavaScript rules. And as long as it either starts with a character or an underscore, then it's fine. And then we convert it to lowercase, and we split by each separator that we had, and we convert that very first word, if it's not the first word that was passed in, to uppercase, just that one word. And then we return that word, and then we turn that all and put in an HTML object, the variable that we're going to be returning. But first we make sure, does that element actually exist? So we check the DOM, and if that element exists, we add it as a key with the element ID reference as the value. And then we return that HTML object, so that means you can just call it and store it into an object, because it returns an object, and then you just call that object each time. You go object dot whatever the variable is, and then you can like set its style, you can set its value, you can basically do anything. So it's quicker than having to specify each time document dot get element by ID, hex value count shown dot inner HTML equal to 999, for example. You could do multiple things. So I was really happy with that. And I mean, React, obviously, you know, you can do it in a much quicker way. You don't have to worry about that takes a state, and jQuery also very easy. But if you're not going to use a library, you might as well learn how to do it in vanilla JavaScript, right? So yeah, that made me really happy. Exactly. Alright, so let's get back to our little thing. Which was... So right now you're not sending HTML, you're just sending a string. And actually, if you open the console on the web page, your browser may tell you that it's not HTML, but it's showing it to you anyway. Okay. So it doesn't say anything in my console. It's just strange that it looks like it's putting it into it, you know what I mean? Like into the body, the response. So then you could say, oh, I see how React probably does that behind the scenes. Yeah, exactly. Alright, well, let's see if that works as a solution. I don't know if it does, so we'll find out. Well, obviously it was working, we saw it. So there we go. Now we need to serve an HTML file. We can respond with a file using the method res.sendFile. So that's the response, right? You can put it inside the app.get root handler. Behind the scenes, this method will send the appropriate headers to instruct your browser on how to handle the file you want to send according to its type. Then it will read and send the file. This method needs an absolute file path. We recommend you to use the node global variable, is that 2 underscores? Directory name to calculate the path. E.g. absolute path equal to underscore underscore directory name plus relative path / file.extension. Jeez, like all these things that we've never covered before. The file to send is views index.html. Try to show live your app. You should see a big HTML heading and a form that we will use later with no style applied. Note you can edit the solution of the previous challenge or create a new one. If you create a new solution, keep in mind that Express evaluates the routes from top to bottom. It executes the handler for the first match. You have to comment out the preceding solution, or the server will keep responding with a string. Oh, so it won't get there the next time, right? So our views index.html. So we have to do app.get So what does the backslash mean in the first one? Because the method is get. The first backslash is the path. The path to what? What is the path relating to? Sorry, the forward slash, yeah. Don't know why I'm saying backslash. Like mywebsite.com, foo is the path, and the root path is... So why shouldn't that be there by default? Why even include it if it's by default there? Well, I mean the relative path, the root path. If the root is always the forward slash, why is that not there by default? As in like optional, you know what I mean? When would it ever not be? Oh, I see. Okay. Usually don't have... Okay, only one. So you'd have that as the path, and then you need to pass in... So why can't I just do views index.html? If that's my website, so let's say foo.com, then I have a folder called views / index.html. Why can't I just do that? Why do I need to include directory name plus relative path? Why can't I just do that? The path the user wants to go to on your website and the path of the file on your file system. Oh, your server. Okay, so you could have it display as foo.com / index.html, whereas you could store that anywhere on your server. foo.com / example / this / that views and then the file. Okay, so it's just mapping it basically. Okay, so the first one is the URL, as in what you'll see on the web, and the second one is the path on your server. Is that basically it? Oh, that's why it's relative here, because if that was foo.com, you put nothing there because that's the index.html for the entire page, right? So if I wanted an index.html for / test, I would put / test there, wouldn't I? So then whatever this is would be the index.html for that, right? Store needs to be a handler. So I need a handler like above. This is so awkward. Can I call this one HTML handler instead? Same stuff, request response. Return rest.send, and then we send absolute path right, yeah. Which they don't teach you. Great stuff, right? So how does this all work? Directory name. How does it get that? What is directory name? Directory name of like where we are right now in this directory? And why is it plus relative path? Let's actually just do it this way. Oh my god, this editor sucks ass. So how about that? HTML file equal to directory name plus relative. And how does this even work? Shouldn't this be a string? Is that a variable? I don't even know what's going on anymore. I really don't. Directory name is provided by node itself, and it's a directory where the node process is executed. Oh, okay. That makes sense. Now what is relative path? I have a feeling this should be a string in the end. That needs to be a variable, so I feel we should use string literals and then have this as a variable, obviously. I don't know what the fuck it's doing with relative path. I'm really lost. Like, am I concatenating a string in the end? Directory name is a variable, so that's fine, but then you need quotes on your view. Yeah, exactly. Well, what about relative path? What is that? Is that a variable? In our case, it's actually just going to be like that, isn't it? I would assume it's this, basically. Directory name / views / index.html. Yeah, exactly. That's what I just put in. But then what was the whole relative path all about? Do you see what I mean? They like add confusing stuff that makes no sense. Because then I should be able to do rest.send HTML file. And put a comma in there. Oh, we got something now. Look at us. But now it's obviously still going to say Hello Express because apparently the first handler is the one that always takes priority. Was there an example or something? Yeah, it was. It was here. Absolute path equal to directory name plus relative path / file.extension. So let's comment this out, I guess, like they said. Not found. New challenge. Nice. Right, King Code? I'm excited. It's just poorly explained, but we'll get there. I've wanted to do this for so long, backend. Let me see what it's trying to send. Can I log? Oh, we don't even have the functionality. There's no order type, and it lags. Why are you not logging? Oh my god. Why is it not logging it? Console.log. Because the request... Wait, does the request only... Oh! The request only sends when the person actually loads the page. That's so cool because it's server side. So that wouldn't execute. Oh, that is amazing. So having it here will have an error. Why? Oh. Yeah, I know why. There you go. So it should be app. Oh, now we see what directory name is. App. But I don't see an app file here, do you? App views index.html. You need to pass the HTML handler. Yeah, you're right. But first, where's app though? Is that right? Is there an app folder? Because we just have assets. Views index.html. I don't see an apps folder here. Well, we're going to assume it is what it is because that's what the server's returning, right? Yeah, directory name is app apparently. I guess it is. So let's pass it in. I forgot that. App.get, the relative path. And so this is how you create those views that I keep hearing about. So we need to pass in HTML handler just like we did before. So if we load it... Okay, something went wrong there. Hold on. That should have been a variable directory name. It is. So then why is it not rest.send HTML file? They run node in the environment for some kind of file system where you only have a... What was that? It's send file. Oh, was it send file? Did I mess that up? You can put it inside the app.get root handler. What? We can respond with a file using the rest.send file. You can put it inside the app.get. Okay. So it's here that we do send file. Okay, so there's send and then there's send file. Gotcha. Oh, look at that! Wow! How cool is that? Hello HTML. Do not use until challenge 12. Wow. Now they're restricting us. So I like how you can dynamically bold that. Views index.html. So that's what those views of when people create things. It's mainly referring to backend stuff, right? So node server stuff. If you see a folder with views, this, that, that. Is that because it's being dynamically served from the server? Wow. I mean, when the folder has got views and then index.html, login.html, you know, stuff like that, does that generally mean someone's using a node server to serve the content? Because I mean, where else would you use that kind of structure? Views. I've seen it before. Doesn't like React have paths and stuff, roots? I haven't worked with that yet, which is very strange. They didn't cover that with us. Any kind of web server, right? Yeah. I guess that's the thing, we haven't really worked on back-end stuff. This is the first time. It's all been front-end up until now. So one thing I want to get is, I went to this page, my main page. How did it know to serve me this specific file? How does it know what I'm on? Is it because the node server is set to run my app.js? And then based on whatever I put in the URL, if the path was empty, as in just the /, then it's going to show me views index.html, right? But if I put test here instead, and I went to /test, oh, it works. So it works the way I think it is, but if there's nothing there, it will show me nothing. So that's how I can control it. When you go to the main page, the path is actually, yeah, that's what binds it. Yeah, I just saw that now. That's cool. So whatever I put in there, I can decide what the response is. So it's one app or one JavaScript file that's bound to the node server, which handles what it will display, right? So based on whatever the request was, I will serve the page. And then I guess we have a matching. If nothing is found, we serve a 404. So this is basically you doing it yourself, because I mean web servers do it all the time, like Apache, right? I'm like so blessed to just upload it and you just go to this page and you just get it. So this is basically how they do it. Is this basically how Apache and all of that does it? The roots and everything? Wow. So I can have multiple tests, 1, 2, 3, main. And then if I go to test 1, 2, 3, what? That is so cool. Yeah, but I mean, you know, back in the day, you just had a file host where you upload and that was it. You never knew about all these things. So that's so cool. So this is how it's all done. Wow. So you don't need a whole massive framework like Apache. I guess it's nice because it's all front end, you know, GUIs, click, click, done. But this is the real deal, huh? So you can really optimize things. Or you don't need like an entire massive package if you just want to show a simple web page. Wow. This is cool. I'm not gonna lie. Really cool. Express is a massive framework, right? But I mean just this, writing the... Oh right, because without this we would have to do even more things? Right. Okay. Well, let's pass this in. Serve static assets. An HTML server usually has one or more directories that are accessible by the user. You can place there the static assets needed by your application. Style sheets, scripts, images. In Express you can put it in place this functionality using the middleware express.static path, where the parameter is the absolute path of the folder containing the assets. If you don't know what a middleware is, don't worry. Wow. I just like that. It's like, if you don't know what it is, don't worry. What was the point of even explaining it, right? Don't worry. Fine, I won't worry. We'll discuss about it later in details. Great. Okay. Good stuff. So they clearly wrote this with people who have experience already in mind. Else they wouldn't bring up something. Basically, middlewares, I thought you're not going to tell me what it is, are functions that intercept root handlers, adding some kind of information. The middleware needs to be mounted using the method app.usePath middleware function. The first argument is optional. If you don't pass it, the middleware will be executed for all the requests. Mount the express.static middleware for all the requests with app.use. The absolute path to the asset folder is directory name plus /public. Okay. I'm gonna pretend I understood that one. So we're not going to use app.get, we're going to use app.use. We're going to use the path. And the middleware function, which I guess is going to be the same as the handler again. But we use... What do we use? Do we use rest.send? Send file? I don't understand now. Mount the express static middleware for all the requests with app.use. How? App.use path express.static, I guess, right? So what I do, app.use absolute express.static, was it? Just like that? Are we okay now? Apparently we're not. So it's not app.use. They should make you write your own middleware. What did I do wrong? The absolute path to the assets folder. I feel somewhere I have to... For all the requests. So app.use. Oh. Well then. That's just some express magic, right? So inside of that, do I use the stuff that we used to, like that? Well, that seemed to have done something. But I'd use a handler for this to be a bit nicer, right? Simply app.use express.static, really? Virani, hey! How you been? Ronnie, you need to rewrite this. It's awful. Whoever wrote this, I can't decide if they just had no idea what they're doing, they're bad at writing, or if they just assume that everyone that's gonna follow a tutorial to learn something they have nothing about already knows what to do. I'm just guessing. I've used Express like once. Now it seems to give errors. Before it didn't. Deadshot, yeah. I was actually thinking that because it worked when I had the absolute path here. So what I think I have to do is create a handler again. But I just don't know if it's going to be the request response thing again and if it's going to be send file or what. But I was thinking it's something like that. We need to return res dot, I don't know, and then in there, this. What is that even going to be? They wanted us to return. I'm just going to call it HTML assets equal to, turn that into a string literal again. So then it'll end up being something like that. So I have directory name with 2 underscores, let's not forget that, / public. You need to pass the path. So you think just one thing to pass the path? Probably just HTML assets. So I don't need the handler. My god. This is the worst one that they've written to date. Missing semicolon? Oh, I am missing a semicolon. Veroni, just completed a difficult task on my job. Added Google Auth into our Electron desktop app and made it talk with our server API. That's exciting. I can't wait to work with Electron. I've heard a lot of great things with that. You can use basically JavaScript, right, to create apps for the desktop, where normally you couldn't, because it was mainly like web language. That's cool. Deadshot, I watch your stream from time to time. I like your chill stream. Just wanted you to know because I almost never write in chat. Oh, thanks, man. I really appreciate that. Didn't you, haven't I seen you game around before? I think you played... What was it that you played? It was... that really intense survival RTS game. I think that was the one time that I stopped by and it seemed really cool. I might be mistaken, but I think it was that. Probably with the underscore direct name and stuff. Yeah, you can. There are some flaws, but you can. By the way, VS Code is made in JavaScript on Electron. That's awesome. So now I don't have to worry about writing stuff in C# or whatever, right? I could take my JavaScript skills to Electron. Oh hey, we actually got it to work in the end. It just magically fixed itself. And now if we reload... Oh my god, it works! Wow! No thanks to this freaking section. Thanks to you guys in the chat, all of you. Especially Deadshot, thank you for pointing that out. I guess a lot of this requires, yeah, just... And this time we didn't even need a handler. Because I guess that's what the middleware is for, kind of like a handler. It takes in that argument, in which case whichever folder we want to make accessible. App.use next, stuff next, other stuff. How does that work? Yeah, I know, it's weird though, it breaks new lines. It's annoying. I mean, it's explained there afterwards, but the whole issue with this is it doesn't make sense until you actually do it. Because, you know, once you do it, it's all good and well, because hey, it's done. But prior to that, it wasn't clear at all. Because we've been doing, you know, like handlers and parsing things with send file and send. And it's like, if you don't know what a middleware is, don't worry. Yeah, I kind of have to worry because, you know, it didn't make sense. But I'm really glad I have you guys in the chat. So it needs to be mounted using the method. So we did get that. But the part here, do you see again what doesn't make sense? Here, it says app.use path and then the middleware function. It specifically says that, but we did it as app.use express.static and then the path inside of that function as an argument. Like, what? So does that work? Did we do it wrong? Did we do it right? No one will ever know. Let's try it. App.use path. So that would be HTML assets. And then the middleware function, which is express.static, right? There. How about now? What's the issue? Root path required. But don't say that if that is the freaking example. The middleware needs to be mounted using the method app.use path middleware function. App.use path middleware function. The first argument is optional. If you don't pass it, the middleware will be executed for all the requests. Okay, so if I don't, okay. For all the requests, okay. Fine. Root path required. Yeah, that is what they say at the end. Okay, so we omit that, but then where does it say? Oh, back up here again. It's just, is it me or is it just worded so poorly? Because okay, if I go backtrack now, it's like there they specify path as an argument inside of express.static. But then here it's like app.use path middleware function. I mean, okay, maybe I look like an idiot, but I mean, you know, you're supposed to be learning this from scratch, having no experience whatsoever. And it's just like everything's all over the place. So we had it right. And that was just a bit confusing over here. And the path here is like we spoke before. If you specify a folder like test, then you'd put test in so that when you go to test, it will be just for test. Right now it's for everything. So that whatever is in public is available for all of them. Right, so I get that. Okay, so let's undo that. So app.use, then we pass in the middleware, and then we pass into the middleware the directory of what we want to have added. So then that works. Cool. Well, there we go. How many more of these are there? And Fleshy, I'm definitely going to go check out how to create the node servers and stuff without Express, without the middlewares and all that. It's like trying to teach you React without learning JavaScript first, you know? Cool. So let me just finish this one up. Then I have to go get something to eat. Serve JSON on a specific route. While an HTML server serves, you guessed it, HTML, an API serves data. A REST, representational state transfer, API allows data exchange in a simple way, without the need for clients to know any detail about the server. The client only needs to know where the resource is, the URL, and the action it wants to perform on it, the verb. The get verb is used when you are fetching some information, without modifying anything. These days, the preferred data format for moving information around the web is JSON. Simply put, JSON is a convenient way to represent a JavaScript object as a string so it can be easily transmitted. Let's create a simple API by creating a route that responds with JSON at the path JSON. You can do it as usual with the app.get method. Inside the route handler, use the method res.json, passing in an object as an argument. This method closes the request response loop, returning the data. Behind the scenes, it converts a valid JavaScript object into a string, then sets the appropriate header to tell your browser that you are serving JSON and sends the data back. A valid object has the usual structure, key, data. Data can be a number, a string, a nested object, or an array. Data can also be a variable or the result of a function call, in which case it will be evaluated before being converted into a string. Serve the object message hello JSON as a response in JSON format to get requests to the root JSON. Then point your browser to your app URL JSON. You should see the message on the screen. Okay, kind of have an idea how to do this. So we're going to do these two things. We're going to modify a few things, obviously. Firstly, do we have to actually send something? Use the res.json method. So we will do res.json, and then inside of that we need to serve message hello JSON. I'm just going to store it as an object and then pass in JSON object over there. So function, we're just going to call this one JSON handler, shall we? Return res.json, JSON object, then we do app.get JSON and we call JSON handler, right? So if all goes well, we should hopefully get a JSON file when we go to / wait, what happens if we stay here? Okay, everything's normal. And when we go to JSON, we get JSON! Hey, look at that! Message hello JSON. Isn't that cool? I like that. I'm gonna have fun with that. There's my solution. See, we're getting there. It was a bit of a frustrating learning curve, but definitely getting there. So app.get, app.use. could see the difference. So when we want to get something, request a file, use app.get, specify what location triggers it, and then what to do. So the handler. And then the handler will obviously, in this case, send a file, the HTML file, wherever it is on our server that we specify. Whereas for the JSON, rest.json, so you're specifying this is going to be a JSON object, make sure it is valid, and this is the object. And if it weren't valid, I'm sure we'll get some kind of error. And then app.get, when you go to the JSON folder, process what the JSON folder is. Yay! That was cool, huh? I can't wait to do the actual API stuff. Like, that has been my dream since I can't remember how long. I don't know what it is that excites me. Maybe because one of my mods, I want to create an API for other modders to like have the mods interface with each other. So this will be really cool. And also like for web service and stuff, have the API where you can go / this and you'll get that. And also have APIs to like store data in databases. So like send or whatever it is. That's gonna be fun. But yeah, I'm gonna have to end the stream here for now. I'm still trying to adjust because I've been doing crazy late streams, so get an earlier night and hopefully things will be a bit better. But I'm liking this. As frustrating as the start was, I think once we actually understand how things work, which often doesn't take too long for us, we will actually be able to do some fun things. And there are some projects in this, so even if, you know, this is not as intuitive, when we get to the project section, we'll be able to obviously do our own research, because then you're not trying to figure out what they're telling you to do. You're trying to figure out, this is my idea, I want to do this, how do I do that? So then we know specifically, okay, we search for this, how to do this in Node, etc, etc. So the projects are going to be fun. We're going to be creating a timestamp microservice. We're going to be creating a request header parser microservice, a URL shortener, which I think is going to be really awesome because I'll probably implement that directly on my domain. That'll be fun. An exercise tracker, sounds fun, and a file metadata microservice. So quite a few fun projects. I feel that should definitely give us the knowledge we need. And I'm excited for it. And MongoDB. Heard a lot about that. I wonder how they're going to implement this with glitch and all that. But we'll see. That's going to be fun. But yeah, thank you guys for dropping by. I appreciate it. And I'll see you on the next one. I want to see though if, I really wanted to host my good friend H3H3, but it seems that he's not streaming right now. But we can drop some love to someone who's just starting out. Let's see, go right to the bottom of the list. Who's just starting out? Some fun stuff here. I'm sure you guys don't want to see weed growing. Oh man. Well, there's some people we can give a shout out to. Let's see. Find something fun here. Web development. Someone making a neon spaceship game. A lot of game developers nowadays, that's fun. But I think I'm gonna pick this person here, so if you guys would join me in on this raid, we can go ahead and do that. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Appreciate all the support. Bye for now.